Good morning, students. Today, we are going to take up part C of chapter 11, that is marketing management. In this, we'll be discussing briefly the role of marketing and we'll be introducing marketing mix and the first element of marketing mix, that is P1 product, will be dealing. This much we'll be taking up in this part C. First, when we talk of role of marketing, we bifurcate it into two: role in a firm and role in the economy. So once we talk of firm or the organization, it helps a firm to earn maximum profit through customer satisfaction. This marketing plays a vital role in survival and growth of the firm. What we had said about wealth maximization through customer satisfaction, this concept we take over here. Then is role in the economy. Obviously, the economic development of a nation depends upon the marketing activity. It helps in raising the standard of living by making people available with the goods and the services that satisfies their needs and wants. So marketing leads to more employment opportunities, sales, higher profit, and attractive investment options. Then we'll be taking up factors in marketing decision which are controllable and non-controllable. Controllable means it is within your range. What we have done in chapter 3, remember, in environment, hardcore environment, macro, micro. So these are the factors which can be influenced in marketing decision by the firm. For example, in case of product, how you are packing it, what brand name you are putting, what pricing you are doing, how distribution part is to be taken up, what promotion models you are taking up are controllable factors which is decided by the firm through its various policies and strategies. Level which is beyond your control. For example, if there's a change in the taste, demand for the people, you have to adjust according to it. If there's a political party's approach which is in power, accordingly you have to adapt. As we say, it's more of adoption and adaptation. What you cannot change, you adjust to it, and what you can change, do change for survival growth. So here we have taken one example, for example, elections. You as a business entity, you cannot control it. It's non-controllable. So you are only left with one option, that is to adjust with it. We see what is marketing mix. Coming to the core focus of the chapter. It is a set of 4 decisions which needs to be taken before launching any product. It refers to a set of actions or tactics that a company uses to promote its brand or product. Now this 4 P's involves product, price, place and promotion. Everything is important, but in certain cases product might dominate, in certain cases place, in certain cases price. So this is why a bit mathematically we can say it is putting together of 4 P's in different permutation and combination. You can see this when we say positioning of a product, at what time we are putting it up, at what price you are releasing it, what place you are going to sell. As we had said, remember in 11th also, in our creation of utility, sand lying at a riverside has no value. But the moment you load it in the truck and take it to construction site, it gains value. So what you have done? You have positioned the product. Place here is important. Now, if we see the entire impact of marketing mix on the target market will be restricted with reference to our CBSE curriculum only. In product, we have product mix as to what is your product width, depth, length, and consistency. That is something is common in the product of all the elements of that particular company. This part we have not taken here because it's not in your syllabus. Quality, feature, design, style, they are being touched in a very shuttled manner. In product, we'll be focusing on branding, packaging, labeling. Then services and warranties are not touched. But you should know that it is part of product. Then coming to place, various channels, coverage, location, inventory, transport. Then coming to price, various strategies. We have price penetration, price skimming, discount allowances, payment period, credit item, handling charges, and promotion, where advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, publicity, public relation, displays, and credit cards are there. So here in this video, we are going to take only product, that is P1. Now, when we talk of product mix, it's an important decision related to product, such as the quality of the product, size, color, and other dimensions. As a marketing manager, you need to give due focus on this. Manufacturers try to add more and more utilities to the product to provide greater satisfaction to customers in winning edge over the competitor. I'll take, for example, if this is a product, right? Now, there are certain colors which are running colors. We say gray, white, silver, but orange, green, these are rare colors. So they're not easily available. But some customers, they're very specific on the color. So you get undertaking from them that you want this color, we are getting it for you, and you cannot send it back. Then on the astro designing part of the product, for example, Espresso, which is a refined version of Alto, they've given the impact or the look of SUV. They've increased the height, road clearance is more, and people prefer it even at a lesser cost. That car is available. It's the basic charm, so that I have taken this example only. Products could be further classified into various parts. We say first is on the basis of the consumers, and then on the basis of the industrial productions. On the basis of consumer, we'll be taking durability, that is durable, non-durable services on the basis of shopping effort. Now this part usually comes in the syllabus. Convenience, shopping, specialty as case study. You have to identify what product it is. Then industrial product. Usually don't get questions on this, but being a part of syllabus, you need to go through it. Examples, they can ask in MCQ with the changed pattern of the exam. So I'll definitely deal with Now first, we'll take up nature and classification of the product, consumer product, what you could see, what we are consuming in the form of edible items, daily use, cosmetics. Then industrial product, what you could see, machinery, motors, and other things. Now, on the basis of durability, if you could see, washing machine, fridge, AC, they are not to be replaced within a day or two. They continue for a very long duration of bare minimum 5 years or so, 5 to 7 years. Whereas non-durable is with a short lifespan. Your matchstick, soap, and other things, they are in non-durable. Then coming to services, when you are providing assistance of any type, that comes under services. So even services is considered as a product over here. Next is on the basis of shopping effort involved. When we talk of convenience product, something which is of day-to-day use, you don't need to think much before buying it and is easily available nearby. For example, a toothpaste is there, what you could see on the screen. Then your matchstick, salt, pepper, sugar, day-to-day item. Whereas shopping product means it needs a bit of thinking and it's not that you buy it daily. It's a bit expensive. As you could see, all the electronic gadgets at the home involving fridge, washing machine, they need to be talked about, discussed with the members of the family, and then you buy it. Then is specialty product. Now, when we say specialty product, here there is no comparison between the cost and value. People are willing to pay heavy price. For example, designer jewelries are there. Then your antique pieces are there. And other relevant things whereby people prefer keeping it as a status symbol, as a passion, as a need of their emotional sentiments. Now we'll be taking up industrial products. And we are going for a further classification, like in materials and parts, we say raw material could be there, manufacturing material and parts. Then even in raw material, it could be in the form of a farm product or natural product. In case of manufactured item, it could be in the form of component and component parts, component material and component parts. Then capital item, this one time they had asked on installation and equipment, that installation of a erection is capital item. Then supplies and services requires maintenance and repair and operating supplies. If you see examples of it, installation involves machinery, accessories includes power generators to give backup, raw materials, for example, cotton, timber, whatever is the product that you're going to manufacture. Manufactured part is radiator, battery, which is to be used as a component in a major product. And supplies or consumables includes lubricant oils, which would make the system go smoothly. Now we are coming to the concept of branding. As I said, branding, labeling, packaging are important. What you could see over here, Tata having its logo, its name, and as a customer, you know that you're buying product of Tata. Let's see how it comes out. Branding. It gives a strong impression. Company's name, logo, reputation, value proposition, price, product. And it has a anchoring of concept where you have a strong instinct towards that. So you stick to it. Let's see. A branding means it's identification of a product and can be in the form of name, symbol, design, and it's part of product mix. Example of brand names are Close-Up, Colgate, Fruity, Bata, and the process of giving name or symbol to the product is branding. So branding is for product differentiation, building instinct image about the product, and to popularize the product and its manufacturers. For example, if we say Jyoti and Jyoti Laboratories with Ujala, that means we are focusing on the manufacturer also along with the product. Both are getting popularity. Now, let us see what was the origin of this branding. It comes from the word bandir. Brander in Orangian means to burn, and this has led to the origin of the word brand. In olden days, what happens? Farmers used to put some kind of identification mark using hot iron on the body of their livestock, that means animal, to distinguish their possessions from that of others. Similarly, marketeers started resorting to branding in order to distinguish their product, which they're offering, from that of their competitors. This brand concept came as a name, a term, a symbol, or a design, or combination of them, which is intended to identify the goods or services of one seller or group of sellers and to differentiate them from those of competitors. Now the question comes, why at all a brand name when generic name is there? Generic name means what the product is. For example, detergent is detergent. Then why to say Nirma, Surf, Ariel, Rin? Pen is pen. Why Parker, Rotomax, Silo, Reynolds? Car is car. Why BMW, Maruti, Honda? Refrigerator is refrigerator. So this way what happens? Generic name means what the product is and brand name how you call it. The minute a brand name is used, identification of the product becomes easy. For example, when you go to shop, you don't say koi bhi sabun de dijiye. You're very specific. You're very specific saying you want Lux, Dove, Rexona. So when you're being specific for the shopkeeper, it becomes very easy to give you a product. Now this brand has three components. Till now they've not asked you to make that. But in entrepreneurship, they do ask. In business studies, they only ask you questions on it. That brand name is that part of brand which is vocalized, can be spoken. It's like naming a newborn child. Mercedes, Woodland, Asian Paint, Pepsi, Maggie, Uncle Chips. A few examples of brand name. Whereas brand mark is that part of brand which can be recognized but cannot be vocalized. उसको बोल नहीं सकता. It's not utterable. It appears in the form of a symbol, design, or distinct color scheme. For example, the girl of Amul, Maharaja of Air India, Ronalds of McDonald's. These are your brand marks. Now, a one mark question, trademark. Now here, all trademarks are somewhere brand name, but all brand names are not trademark. It's like saying a simple concept. All contracts are agreement, but all agreement cannot be contract. Only those agreements which are legally enforceable will be called as contract. The same way here, the brand or the part of a brand which is given a legal protection against its use by other firms is called as trademark. Thus, trademark is a legal term protecting the seller's exclusive right to use the brand name or brand mark. This is where your trademark is different from that of brand name or brand mark, that it gets a legal protection. Now let us see what are the features of a good brand name. Obviously, short and simple so that every person of different age group, different uh, background can easily pronounce it, spell it. Short, simple होना चाहिए, crispy. Pepsi, Lux, Fanta, Innova, LG. Everybody can speak out. Bata, Tata. Then it should be in a position to suggest the product's benefit. Suggestive. For example, when I say Ujala, brightness, Hajimullah, digestive, dairy milk, hair and care. So it should be suggestive. Then unique and distinctive. Something which is catchy, different. Your Vicks, Jeep, and so on. Then it should be meaningful. Uh, when we say meaningful, that means we are taking into consideration various points in terms of language and culture. For example, Onida, neighbors, envy, owner's pride. What you say? It should not be offensive and inappropriate. Then legal protection part should be there. It should be capable of being registered and protected legally. Now, if at all we are doing this branding, there should be some benefit of it. So let's see what it comes out. Advantages of branding. To the manufacturer, your product is easily being differentiated. Automatic advertisement goes. Easy introduction of new products in the same category. And differential pricing is there. You create a difference. Then to the customers, again it's an easy identification of the product in the market. Status symbol, people take it to use branded item. बोलते ना, we need branded item, Viva का dress. Why only Viva? Status symbol, and it ensures quality. So in brand, you see the name, logo, identity, color, strategy, marketing. Everything comes, and it is a point where you need to balance them. Next is packaging. As you could see, packaging means how you are giving protection to the product, and obviously the things written on it comes as labeling. It's interrelated. Remember the function we are taking it together. Functioning may that labeling and packaging. So packaging, what happens? The companies supply the product with certain containers for safety purpose, and is a process of designing and product appropriate wrappers containers. Now here, for you people, packing and packaging has been considered as same, although they are two different things. They're two different things, but for your CBSE, they have taken it in terms of different levels of packaging, and we'll be also taking that way. We'll be moving that way only, that it plays an important role in marketing and it is part of product mix. So like that packaging is essential for displaying necessary information. It reduces the risk of wastage, spoilage, leakage in the process of transportation and storage. Then it is used as a promotional tool. It acts as a silent salesman also. And in self-service store, packaging helps in giving right information to the customer to decide what is to be done. Now we'll see what are the different levels. Primary, secondary, transportation. Primary means the immediate container in which it is being kept. And it continues till the end of the product. That we have taken in the next also, toothpaste. Secondary, the additional layer of protection. That is the cartoon box or the cardboard box. And you carry it from the retailer to your place. That is customer, and after that you throw it. Once you start using a tube, you throw the upper wrapper, wooden or the cardboard one. And transportation packaging is where the entire lot is to be sent from either manufacturer to the wholesaler, from the wholesaler to the retailer. So it is in bulk that the things are to be sent. Coming on to packaging, function and importance. The first one is it is giving protection. No doubt about it that it protects from sun, rain, moisture, insect. Then it is easy identification because of the labeling purpose, also the color part of it. And facilitates the use of the product because the shape, size of the packet should be such that there should be convenience in opening, handling and using of the thing. For example, shampoo, shaving cream. Then product promotion. It should be attractive. It acts as a promotional tool. At times you buy a thing only because of its packet, not because of the main product, especially in terms of bakery item. Then it helps in raising the standard of the health. Obviously, it prevents adulteration if it is properly being packed. And product differentiation, creating a difference by looking at the package of the product. You can guess on the quality of the product that is being contained. Now, the third one, which is the last one, is labeling, which is on the container or the packet that is there. So this is why we said branding, packaging, labeling, all are interrelated. Even though this video is going a bit long, but the purpose of taking all the three together is you could correlate and interrelate them. As you could see in labeling, we are giving all the details of manufacturing date, expiry date, ingredients, MRP. Once they had asked, design a label for SOS item, save on soul. So best is you could take in medicine or Dettol, Savlon, see all the elements and you can, that is the best for designing. It contains all the details. Barcode also you can put up. Now, so labeling is putting identification mark on the package. It provides information like name of the product, manufacturer, weight, price, and it may vary from a simple tag attached to the product to a complex graphics, what we said, barcode and other things, or putting green and red dot, green for vegetarian, red for non-vegetarian. Labels are useful in providing detailed information about the product, its content, method of use, that is direction for use, which is given. Even statutory warnings are given. Now, if you see the functions performed by labeling or a label, so first is it is describing the product. You need not ask somebody. See the label and you'll come to know how to use it, when was it being manufactured, what is the expiry date, price, etc. Then identification of the product or brand, the logo part. The logo part. Whenever you have to design a label, normally we put it into three: brand, descriptive, and statutory. In these three we divide. So you are putting the brand or the logo, then it helps in grading the product. Different colors, for example, full cream milk, toned milk, different color, and you can identify. Then it promotes sales. You are inducing or exciting the customer to buy his product. Then providing information required by law, what we say as a statutory requirement. For example, we say injurious, it is injurious to health to be stored at a particular temperature, else could be harmful. Now, with this, we conclude with P1, that is product, and in next, depending upon the size of the video, we'll see P2 and P3 together with the exceptions on the deleted topics for 2020. Thank you. Please stay tuned with us. If you feel that it is comfortable for you learning through this, do subscribe, share this link with your friends who are willing to learn,